Hey, it's Teddy Swims hanging out here on the couch at the Kelly Alexander Show.
Very excited to welcome one Mr. Teddy Swims, who has amazing fans all over the world because he's got 10 million followers on social media, not to mention over 870 million streams. Teddy, welcome to Virgin Radio.
Oh, thanks for having me. I had no idea it was that much. It's crazy.
That's a big number.
Yeah, it's wild.
Can you even take that in?
I don't know. I think we so focused on like the goal that, when you hear something like that, you're like, damn. Whoa.
Have you had a chance yet to actually enjoy the ride you're on? Because I'm sure the last 3 or 4 years have been bananas.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying it. I mean, I'm doing it with my best buddies in the world that I've known my whole life. So we enjoy it. If anything, we've enjoyed it too much. You know what I mean? If anything, we've celebrated a little too much. It might be time to slow down on the celebration, but I don't know. I mean, you gotta take the. You gotta. There's a balance, but
There's a balance,
I
yeah.
just hadn't figured it out. But more celebration, more work hard, play hard.
Exactly. And I know that the tour's coming to an end. Will you take some time off or head back into the studio very quickly?
So I think we end in for Thanksgiving, and I'll be home for I think 3 days, and then we're right back to my whole December. Just gotten, and then I think January through March or something. I'm gonna write for a while, but. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever getting time off.
Okay, probably not in the foreseeable
Not
future.
in the foreseeable future, no.
Obviously, I know everybody knows how you blew up with the covers. And so I did have a quick question about that. Did you have any inkling that things were going to go kaboom when you did the Michael Jackson cover?
No, I never even intended on doing covers, but we just did that because it was 10 years. That day, it was 10 years he passed on June 25th of 2019, and I just wanted to pay homage, and it just went and I guess we should just keep on doing this, but I never thought that would be the route that I'd take or that would lead into this or that I was even going to be a solo artist, I guess you could say. But all the guys that are in my band now, we're all in a band together, and when this started happening, we were like, well, let's just be Teddy Swims then, they all stuck by me, but I never knew it was going to be this. I never knew this was the avenue, I never knew this would be the case.
And I want to talk to you about your album in just a sec, but I did want to ask you, when it comes to covers, because you've done so many, and you and I talked just moments ago about your sick cover of Hers Focus, which is amazing. Is there a cover that you haven't done yet? And I know you probably don't have time to do covers right now, but is there one that you would just love to do?
I've been saying that if I were to do the next one I would do would probably be At Your Best, You Are Loved by Aaliyah.
Oh.
I've always wanted to do. You're the positive, motivating force within my life. That song to me is just oh, God, I love that song.
That is amazing. 1994, I think that came out.
Yeah, gosh,
that's amazing.
Rest in peace, too.
Exactly. Now, do you have, because I've noticed just how many collaborations you've started to rack up, and I know that you were hanging out with Maren Morris recently.
Yeah.
Who's on your bucket list of being next?
The person I would love to collaborate with the most, and I say this all the time, is Stevie Wonder or Paul McCartney. And they're my heroes, the best I think who's ever done it. But also they're kind of getting older, and I want to just make sure. I mean, they seem like they have plenty of time left. Not they're old or they're about to die or anything. But just I would just love to be in a room with one of them and just just get what I can, and soak in that knowledge. And I think Stevie Wonder would be tip top, he's the best ever.
And I have to ask you as a good Canadian, because I know you covered Shania Twain, and I think she answered you back. Have you had a chance to meet her yet?
I have not gotten to meet her, but she had heard the cover and tweeted at it, but I've not got a chance to work with her. I would die too though. She's the queen,
She is definitely the queen. Now talk to us about the album. I know it was recently released. When it came to sequencing the album, did you slave over that, or did you have a plan in mind?
I think it just all kind of fell into its place. It's quite weird because we wrote for a long time, but majority of the album happened within this 4-day writing camp. 6 of maybe the 10 were written in those 4 days, even though we had written for 4 years on it. And I think it all just kind of I just knew where it started kind of making sense, I had no idea what it was going to be until it was okay, we have to figure out what this album's going to be in a week. And then once you're the back against the wall, is it just kind of just fell into its place and was oh, obviously this is what it needs to be, and it was just very, very clear.
How important is it for you to have a hand in writing all the songs?
I'm very. I think it comes from my place and from like where I am spiritually and emotionally. But there are a couple songs on this record that I did not write. There's a song called "Last Communion," and I think I didn't write that song at all. But it was one of the songs when it was sent to me that was like exactly what I was missing from the record. And when I heard it, I was like, God, I have to have that, you know, and I rarely feel that way. I get sent a lot of songs, and I rarely feel that way when somebody sends me a song where I'm like, this is my song, you know, and like they spoke to my heart in a way that I need to say it. So Last Communion was one for me that I just, like, it just belonged there, even if I didn't have a hand. So I think it is important for me to have a hand in writing it, but I don't think it's end all be all, because like whatever fits, whatever belongs, like what needs to be said will come to you in the right way. And it's, you know, sometimes you say something else that somebody else said, but maybe you can just say it, you know, and that person like maybe couldn't say it the same way, you know. So I think it's like, you know, there's nothing new under the sun, and nobody writes anything new. But it's like I think we all say the same things in different ways, but it's like, I say it like this: it's like the difference between saying "I love you" versus "I love you," you know. And it's if like how you say it means so much more, you know.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any inclination to want to write for other artists as your career
Yeah,
progresses?
yeah, and I have I got so lucky. There's a song right now, and recently was #1 on country radio in America too. The song "Angels Don't Always Have Wings" by Thomas Rhett. I got a chance to write with him, and I'm still on the background vocals of it. But yeah, that was my first like writer cut that like I got, you know, as just a writer.
Does that in a way almost mean more to you? Or?
Yeah, it means so much more, man.
Okay.
Because I think there's something about like not that I would like say that I'm great or anything, but I feel like I feel like as a singer I'm well enough at singing that we could say anything. Like sometimes if I'm writing, you know, you never know if a song's really good or not, because like if we say it, I can sell it to you in a way that is really good, you know, like, and if I don't care if it's like the most C- song, I can make it believable, you know. But sometimes you like when you have something good, like you don't really, you never know. So I always like when we write, I always like want to say like, what if like I'll find the guy in the room that can sing the worst in the room, you know, and like okay, well you go sing it, and if it's still really good, you know, then we're on to something, you know, like so I just make sure like when we're writing something, like, okay, this guy, you can't sing a lick, so like you go in there and sing the song and record the song, and if the song's like really amazing still, then then we know we're on to something. But don't let me sing it and it'd be like awesome, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, sometimes you just gotta make sure you're singing like the song really exists without it being like sold to you in the best way, you know?
Where are you most comfortable? Is it on stage? Is it in the studio recording? Is it back home with your family and friends?
I would say on stage is my most comfortable place, because I think it's the one place I'm not like full of anxiety and like full of which I think, I mean, I'd carry a lot of that into the writing room, but it's like kind of good for me there, you know, like you got to have anxiety and like weird feelings and like bravery and certain things in the studio when you're writing. You can be all that stuff and never have to change from being anxious. But on stage is like the only place I'm just myself, you know, fully just open, and it feels like my living room, you know.
Have you had the ability to take in that you actually do have a unique voice? Like you don't sound like anybody.
Well, I hope so. I think that is the thing about a voice, though. I think it's important that the voice is like a thumbprint, and nobody has the same voice box or the same, and everybody speaks differently, and your voice is so bound to your like travel or your like decisions you make or the weather or your sickness and the way you grew up and the work you do to it. And so I think everybody has a very unique voice, and so whether you're singing or not, I think it's very important that you're the only one that can say what you say the way you say it. And so I think everybody has a unique voice that it's up to them to do the best they can to make it find out what they're saying, you know?
I noticed too, like when I watch your music videos, you definitely have a unique style. How important is your style to you, like when you're doing your thing? Like, does it play a part of you, Teddy Swims the artist?
I don't know. I never think about like what am I doing like like I never think about how I'm gonna make it mine. Like I just you know, I don't know.
Because you always look cool. So
Well, thanks.
keep
I
it
hope
up.
So yeah, yeah. I never think about how to look different. I just I just throw some clothes on and
Well, it's working for you. So
Yeah,
keep it
that's
up.
great.
A couple quick questions before we wrap up. I did want to ask you, who is the like the artist that has reached out to you that has surprised you the most? That it was like, I can't believe like they like what I do or whatever.
Just recently, I had got a chance to talk to Miranda Lambert, and that was really cool because I did a cover of her song, "The House That Built Me" forever ago, and about a week ago, one of my best buds in the world, Jelly Roll, also shout out to what's happening to Jelly Roll right now. Nobody deserves it better. He's the nicest guy I've ever met, and I had to get the CMA New Artist of the Year and getting a Grammy nomination for that as well. It's just crazy. But he reached out to me about a week ago, and he's like, "Hey, man, Miranda Lambert wants to know if I can connect you guys." And I was like, "God, yeah, of course. I would love that." And so we've been in contact, and that's been really cool because I'm such a huge fan of Miranda Lambert. She's amazing,
She is. If you had a chance just to switch places with another artist for one day, who would it be and why?
Frank Ocean, for sure. He's just a different person, Like, I just want to know what it's like inside of his head, like what it's like to. It seems like I don't know, just like a enigma, you know what I mean? And I want to just know like how his brain works, how his brain works when he's writing. Why is it like so like weird and closed off to everyone, and like why is he so like like behind closed doors about everything? It's kind of weird because I'm just so flamboyantly and openly like in your face all the time, and so I wanted to. Frank Ocean's I think the best writer like maybe ever.
Okay. Who is your like favorite producer? Like, and do you have producers you'd like to work with that are on your bucket
Yeah,
list?
Timbaland I think is like the guy that I've always like held as number one, and I did get a chance to work with him last year, which was really cool. He's just something else, and then I think my favorite producer in the world right now, and then he's done most of my stuff with me and has since the beginning of time, like since Teddy Swims, and Julian Brunetta is like my dad in this whole thing, and he's the best producer in the world to me right now. But I think somebody I really want to work with that I haven't been able to is this man D Mile. I think he's just the sound right now. He's just like he's something else. D Miles, and I think I've worked a lot with this guy Jeff Giddy too, and he's one of the best producers in the world right now too. One of the best players of anything. But I would like to work with D Mile, I think, and Pharrell would be really cool too.
Do you have a message for your Montreal fans?
Yeah, I love you so much. Thanks for caring about me.
That's amazing. Teddy, thank you so much for spending time with us. We truly appreciate it. That is Teddy Swims. Make sure you follow him on all of his social media at Teddy Swims.
Thanks.
Hey, it's Kelly, and I just want to take a moment to thank you so much for all of the support that you continue to show The Kelly Alexander Show and our latest program, Just Dance, that I co-host with award-winning choreographer Tina Landon. We've been having so much fun on Just Dance, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. We've done interviews with Brian and Scott Nicholson, who work with Ariana Grande, RJ and Nick, who work with Pink and Katy Perry, Luther Brown, who works with our girl Janet Jackson, and the list goes on. And we also have many surprises coming for you in this coming year. So please sign up and join us to have lots of fun. hy.page/Kelly Alexander Show, our YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/Kelly Alexander Show, and our newsletter, which is kellyalexandershow.com/subscribe.